Such as, you know, I mean, to look at the expansion, no, I know that. But I think it's all about, I لو سهل نشوفكم حلوين انا مش راح
How are you?
Mr. Kazi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you? But part of that challenge is that you've got to have transparency with schools and what the expectations are. And I found development confidence in implementation.
You get looked at you
try some information.
Real like.
You have one other from the burger. What a gorgeous house.
اعمل لي شيء.
هلا رح نجيب الضوفه بس من بقبوق.
اوكي يلا. يلا رجعنا كمان شوية.
in the moment, you know how to swing the snow, swing it out. Other dancers may be on the floor, give up my eyes, won't see only you. Only you have the magic technique. When we sway, I go in. I can hear the sound of violence long before I make the thing I do. You know, swing it, swing it now. It starts to play. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, please help yourself for the appetizers and the food. It's getting cold, please do so. When the rhythm starts to play, dance with me. When the rhythm starts to play, dance with me, make me sway. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. Please help yourself for the food and the appetizers so you can start the program. Please help yourself. Appetizers and food are ready, so you can start the program. Please help. Dreams of green, red roses too. I see like you, oh yeah. When I think of myself, what all can I do?
صور دون بعيوني الله بعيوني
I know God for a very long time ago.
What school you graduate from?
Say what do me feel this way, my girl? Something about my girl, I got so long. I need to be in there. I'm not sweet.
Same price as our house. That we got here.
When you want to see me
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can we all of you here to step down to this side here? We're going to begin the program in just a second. As in, Dr. Kumar, Audi, we're going to need you to step down this way, guys. You guys, we'll have everybody move down there so we can start the program. Eric, I'll get you down there. All right, everybody. All right, we'll have you all step down this way. Olga, Nikki, Jojo, down there, so we can begin the program with the congressman here. Give some food. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm John Corey, and I'm delighted to see each and every one of you here this evening. This is our third garden party here at Villa El Kafaji. It is an absolute delight to share this evening, this beautiful September night with all of you. At this time, I ask for your attention as we welcome the United States Army to present the flag. Thank you, gentlemen. Please remain standing for the singing of our United States National Anthem and join me and welcoming Amani El-Kafaji to perform the anthem. Amani? Dr. El-Kafaji. Dr. Amani El-Kafaji, give it up. You know, they say doctors don't get sick, but she was a little under the weather, and we weren't sure she was going to be able to perform tonight. I think that was a spectacular performance, as it always is, and thank you so much. Please remain standing for the playing of the Iraqi, Lebanese, and Syrian national anthems. Thank you, Robert. And thank you, everybody. So this is an amazing beginning. We have a wonderful night planned for you this evening, as you can tell already. I just want to send a big fat Lebanese welcome out to each and every one of you. There are a few special guests here this evening I want to say hello to, but I want you all to know that this is our third year hosting the Lebanese American Chamber of Commerce here at Villa El Kafaji, as I've mentioned. We can't do this without the El Kafaji family. Look at this beautiful family standing before us here. God has graced us with your presence in Michigan and all that you do for America and for your beloved Iraq. And I recall the stories that Shaka shared with me about his late father, Wadi, how he loved God, he loved country, and he loved his family. And he loved people. And what we're doing tonight is done in his image to continue the legacy that was begun by him and to share in food and in drink and in camaraderie as brothers and sisters and cousins together. So thank you, Shaka. May his memory be eternal, always and always. I'm gonna miss somebody, so forgive me, but I want to send a big shout out to those who are here this evening with us from the United States Army. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Now, forgive me if I forget somebody, so shout out their name, but when county leaders, that's right, our vice chair is here, Miled Zadov. Miled, thank you for all you do for the chamber. You're absolutely right. Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard, America's Sheriff is how we refer to him, is here tonight. He even came dressed appropriately. Check him out. I still miss the mustache, Michael, but we'll take it. From across the line of demarcation, where is Tony Forlini? Macomb County Clerk Tony Forlini in the house. Also from Macomb County, it's wonderful longtime supervisor of Shelby Township, Rick Stathakis. Ricky, put your hands up. Great to have you with us here. Thank you for being here. I also saw Eric Nesbitt, Senate Leader, right over here. Eric is in the room tonight, everybody. Thank you, Eric, for coming in. I know you had 10 other things to do tonight, but we're thrilled that you're here with us. So thank you very much. And I want to extend my gracious welcome to each and every one of you who are so important to us. We're thrilled that you're all here. Come on in. Come on, Dr. Yvonne, Attorney Gallo. Come on in, guys. I don't want you to miss this. Adnan Azarfi is here. Where are you, Adnan? A member of Parliament from Iraq. Right here. Welcome to America. Adnan Azarfi, member of Parliament from the Iraqi government. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Good to have you here tonight. Thank you, Shaka. And if I missed anyone, forgive me. You're all so important to us, and you mean so much to us. We're thrilled to have each and every one of you here. Enough from me. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Amar El Kafaji for a few words here from the family. Doctor?
Thank you, John. It's truly an honor to have you all here tonight. We really appreciate it. You guys aren't just friends to us, you guys are family. This isn't our home, it's everyone's home here, and we treat it as such. We're really honored tonight to have a very special guest here with us tonight. We have Congressman Abe Hamadeh, who's here from Arizona. He so generously donated his time, came all the way here to Michigan to come see us all. I saw him back in May in D.C. We spoke to him about the Michigan community and how important it is that our community be aware of everyone in Congress that supports us and gets involved with our community. And Congressman Abe has been doing that from the start. He is a true patriot. He has proudly served our country. He is a rising star, if not the ultimate star in the Republican Party right now. He is working day and night, and he is here to really meet the community, spend time with the community, and we're so honored to have him here today. Thank you so much for being here. It's a true blessing for our family to be able to host you here tonight. And we want to invite you here, hopefully again next year, and for many years to come. We know you're going to be with us for a long time, and you've got a great, bright future ahead of you, and we're honored to be part of this path with you. Thank you so much. It's truly an honor from our family. I'm going to turn it over to Congressman Abe Hamadeh. Thank you so much.
Before we do that, Congressman, before we do that, I want to recognize one special person who flew in from Washington, D.C. tonight to be with us. Years ago, former United States Senator Spencer Abraham tapped her to come on board and work with the Arab American community to get him elected here from Michigan to the United States Senate. It worked. She became an Assistant Secretary of State, Secretary of Energy, I wish Secretary of State, and she's here tonight. And let me just say this about Rhonda Fahmy. Rhonda, where are you? Right here. Rhonda, come up here for a second. Rhonda, I want everyone to recognize Rhonda, because while we know that there are things taking place in Washington and people working on things, there's someone for years and decades. We have a voice. You've given us a footprint in Washington, D.C. You support Arab Americans running throughout the country from your home in D.C. and, of course, you know, your summer home as well. But we can't do what we do without you and support from individuals like yourself. Madam Secretary, I just wanted to say thank you for flying in. When I said Abe was going to be here, she goes, I love Abe. I'm coming back to Michigan. So I had to recognize you, and I want to say thank you for all that you do. God bless you. Thank you. Abe Hamed.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Rhonda. Congressman Abe, true honor. Thank you so much. And anyone, please talk to his campaign, Will. We're taking donations tonight for whoever is being generous tonight. We truly want to support him. We want to show the community. We want the community to show how much we support Abe. Thank you so much.
And you can't miss Will either. He's a tall guy back there. 6'7". You know, thank you so much, Mark, for that wonderful introduction. Beautiful house, and thank you for having me on the boat earlier today. That's why I'm going to come back to those three fronts. That's going to be my swimsuit. But I want to introduce myself to all of you, because some of you may not know me. Who's this young guy who's of Syrian ancestry, and how did he get into politics? I ask myself that all the time, actually. And it all starts back with my family. So my family immigrated from Syria back in the late 1980s, and they landed up in Chicago, not too far from here, actually. And it was quite cold up there. But I was there until I was 6 years old. But how we ended up into Arizona, kind of a funny story. So my father, he was an entrepreneur, but he loved playing the lottery. And he actually, in fact, won the lottery, believe it or not. And it was only $50,000 at the time, but you know, that's kind of a lot of money for a recent immigrant. But included in there was, most importantly, a stay at the Scottsdale Princess Hotel in January. So as you can imagine, they got off the flight from Chicago, landed at Phoenix Sky Harbor in January, and they looked at each other and they said, wow, we found the Middle East of America. So it was quite a beautiful blessing that they landed in Arizona. Hopefully you guys come to Arizona and see the Middle East of America. It was really good weather from October to May. A nice second home for all of you. But I have an older brother who's in real estate in Arizona, very successful. I have an older sister as well. She actually, it's all American dream story. This is why I love your family too. And I see the proud American flag. My family's the American dream story too, not just me, but my whole family. And my sister, she married an NBA player, believe it or not. He played on the San Antonio Spurs, won a championship there. You know, he's even taller than me. He's 6'10", but they got beautiful children. My sister has 6 beautiful children, spread left. And, I went to law school as a prosecutor, then I joined the United States Army, and thank you, gentlemen, for presenting the flag. It's quite an honor. Thank you so much for your service, truly. It means a lot to have you here. Please give them a round of applause. Because that was the best thing I did was joining the military. You know, something I love is you wear that uniform with the American flag on your right shoulder so you understand, the significance of what that means. And it was really the best time of my life. And I got deployed to Saudi Arabia back in 2020 and 2021. So this was during the height of COVID. I kind of liked Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia was changing at the time. And it was there for 14 months. So I spent a lot of time in Riyadh and Jeddah. And what I was there for was because you remember back in December of 2019 in Pensacola, there was a terrorist attack on a naval base out there. So one of the Saudi pilots actually killed 4 of our service members. So I was there to go implement enhanced security vetting guidelines to prevent a terrorist attack like that from happening in the United States again. I had a very good time. But when I got back from Saudi Arabia, I got back to Arizona, I actually decided to run for political office, my first political office back in 2021. I ran for Attorney General. And the reason why I ran is because I came back here, and in many ways I said to myself, I no longer recognize my country. At the time, COVID was at the height of it, and there seemed so much division, and unfortunately, what we just saw the past few days, it's cognizant of that, especially for people like us who come from families that come from the Middle East. We never want to see America transform into a third world country, especially when it comes to political disagreement. And I pray for Charlie Kirk. He was a native Arizonan. I actually lived in the same building as him, and we knew him very well. And he had two beautiful children, 3 and 1. He's never going to see his father, and he knew his wife, and it's very tragic. But I want to make sure that what we are able to do by being here, and what the Al-Khawaji family that you guys have a lot of influence. Every time I mention Washington D.C., everybody knows who you are. So you guys are doing something right. It's pretty powerful, especially for a first generation family. So when I came back, I ran for Attorney General. I was 30 years old. I was the youngest candidate running for statewide office back then. And we beat a lot of people in that Republican primary. We beat a Supreme Court justice. We beat the heiress to the Ping Gulf dynasty. Nobody gave me a shot. They said, with your last name, with you being so young, with you being a student ancestor, you're not going to win in the Republican primary. And I told them they don't know America. And I think it's proven them wrong. But not only was I able to win that primary, that race in the general election was the closest race in Arizona history. It was decided by 280 votes out of 2.5 million. The closest race. And believe me, that election was Iraqi-style election. The machines went down. We know we won that race, just like President Trump won 2020. But it allowed me to be able to fight. And when I decided to run for Congress, I knew exactly what I was going there for. I'm so blessed and honored to actually be a member of Congress at this historic time. President Trump, he needed allies in Congress. If you look at how we're running things right now, he's got allies in Congress, unlike how it was in 2017. 2017, it seemed like the Republicans were almost trying to hinder President Trump. And now we have Speaker Mike Johnson, who I know has been here. We have Lisa McClain in leadership as well. We have Tom Emmer and Steve Scalise. All of it. We're all working together with President Trump. He's transforming this country in such a beautiful way. And I'm so proud that he endorsed me for multiple of my elections. And I know we got big things ahead of us. But if you see what we're able to accomplish with the one big beautiful bill and how we're quickly transforming. I used to go to Arizona. The one thing I would talk to in Arizona, the number one thing I would talk about is the border. You have tens of millions of illegal immigrants crossing our southern border, many coming from Iran, from China. And within a week or two, President Trump was able to shut that down. That takes leadership. It didn't take more money. It didn't take more study. It took decisive leadership. And that's why President Trump, I think, is going to go down in history as one of the most significant historical presidents in the entire country. What a time to be alive, because they know we have 3.5 more years left of him. And look how he's transforming the Middle East. In his first term, he was able to get something done that nobody thought would be able to get done. The Abraham Accords. It wasn't named after anybody. I think the next one might be there, maybe. But he was able to get peace in the Middle East. It was quite significant. And that's something he's always for. He hates the killing. He hates the war. That's why there were so many people that tried to stop him. And I just got back. I was actually in Syria for 6 hours. I was just in Syria for 6 hours last month. I got to meet with the new Syrian president and his foreign minister at the presidential palace. And I was there to help try to stop the situation in Syria. There was a lot of killing that happened. We can't let Syria go back into another civil war. We understand now that Bashar al-Assad fell, you have the Iranians out. Iran has never been more weaker than now. First of all, Hezbollah has been totally decimated in Lebanon. Lebanon is on an upward trajectory, especially with the new president, Joseph Aoun. I'm going to be going to Lebanon in a few weeks as well with some good friends of yours, Darren Yehuda and Joe Lenser, who's also, but we've had everybody. We have everybody in Congress. It's quite impressive. But, I understand the significance of this moment, my time going, because, Bashar al-Assad, he actually fell before I even got to Congress by month. And so I know I'm going to play a key role in this, and I'm very close with Ambassador Tom Barrack, who's the ambassador of Turkey, that are envoy for Syria and Lebanon. And I tell Tom, he's got the toughest job in the world. He really does. He's dealing with the Middle East. We have no allies or friends in the Middle East, Syria. It becomes complicated. I was in Israel at first, I went to Syria. We got to stop the killing. Something I appreciate about the Gulf countries, some of our strongest allies, with President Trump back in 2017, that was the first country we went to was Saudi Arabia. The first country we went to in his second presidency was Saudi Arabia, and then Qatar and the UAE. Because he understands there's a lot of development that we could have, and prosperity brings peace. And I think most of the Middle East has to start to adopt that mentality if we want to have peace in the Middle East. But I know we're going to be a big part of that. And when I got sworn into Congress, I got sworn in on a family Bible from Carl and Marcia Mueller. So if you don't know the Carl and Marcia Mueller, their daughter was Kayla Mueller. She was killed in Syria by al-Baghdadi himself. She was one of al-Baghdadi's slaves that he claimed. The Carl and Marcia Mueller, the families from Arizona. So I honored her legacy by using the family Bible. And in fact, I'm still trying to get her body recovered from Syria back to Arizona because she deserves to be buried in America with proper burial. And that's what I also met with the Syrian president about. So there's a lot happening in Congress, and I think we're gonna be seeing me for a long time. One of the things I mentioned to President Shara when I met with him, I said, President Trump's only going to be here for maybe 3.5 more years, but you might have to deal with me for 30 years. And maybe, I don't know, my sanity can take that, but I'm having a good time because we are united, and I hope, especially after the recent events, we can all look to see why we are in this. Why these gentlemen serve our country. We're trying to make this country a better place. This is the strongest, most powerful country on the face of the earth, and we have leadership. And the leadership doesn't just come from us politicians, it comes from the community. So I appreciate all your support. I know we got a tough campaign. We're always going to have a tough campaign. People are always trying to come after me, so any financial support would mean a lot to me, so get with Will in the back, and I hope to visit you in Washington, D.C. Please stop by my office. We'll set you up with tours of the White House, tours of the Capitol. We got a lot of good connections, and if you ever make your way to Arizona, please come see us in Scottsdale and Phoenix and Peoria, wherever. We'll show you a good time. So quite an honor to be with you, and let's go have fun. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right, that's the end of our program. We're here for a garden party, but the congressman is going to stick around, get your selfies, get your pictures. Plenty of, the Alcatrazes, plenty of food, plenty of drink. The sun is setting. I think maybe even boat rides. I don't know. But on behalf of the Lebanese American Chamber of Commerce, the Alcatrazes, the United States Army, and all of you, thank you for being here tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause and enjoy your evening. We'll see you next year. Thanks, everyone. God bless. Give your card, yeah. Sure.
Can I go out this way or? Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
سنودوله لولو يباديه وطلعات هلوله روسي لو اني وليل ويوم برايا لولو يباديه دلوين ومطر روسي لو اني شمشة صار بدري شمشة صار بدري وعيد ولا طريق وصبري شدي وادقني أدري وما راني شدي وادقني أدري وما راني شمشة صار بدري شمشة صار بدري وعيد ولا طريق وصبري شدي وادقني أدري وما راني شكي وادق أدري هاشم شاه صار الطاهر هاشم شاه صار الطاهر بدون الله يقو باهي في وادق أدري وما راني في وادق أدري وما راني قتليني شو قتليني قتليني شو قتليني يا ولدي يا ولدي اللي بسكن ديني وما راني اللي بسكن ديني وما راني زلم يا تقرم لو يدعك تفسيرك يا زلم يا تقرم لو يدعك تفسيرك مالي مريني نمريني مريم ودير يا ناري مريني نمريني مريم ودير يا زلم يا تقرم لو إذا تصير يا زدهم يا تقرن
call it? Sawilya Macarena? Ibo ko doon dito ay Macarena?
Doesn't make sense. I like this.
هذا الحلول يا مرسل علي، هذا الحلول يا مرسل علي، يا ناس قولوا لي بس ايش اسوي، يا ناس قولوا لي بس ايش اسوي، بلا شعورات بعمو بدي، بلا شعورات بعمو بدي. روحا في دوال القاعد بضابي، روحا في دوال القاعد بضابي، شعر هارود مدري ايش السوالي، شعر هارود مدري ايش السوالي، حسن قلبي صار مو بديه، احسن قلبي صار مو بديه، الدفه هي تشوف وانا بدبد اسلوب، أنا بدبد الأسلوب، النوب 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 النوب. من طين الدرب ننظر حبي واشوفه، لبس عباس ودرب تفرج مع بين شتوفه، حبيبا طين الدرب ننظر حبي واشوفه، لبس عباس ودرب تفرج مع بين شتوفه. داير طاير عالموزة وقلبي يطرزلنا، والعين عين الغزلان والطول نادى شلة، داير طاير عالموزة وقلبي يطرزلنا، والعين عين الغزلان والطول نادى شلة، حبيبا طين الدرب نظر حبي واشوفه، لبس عباس ود الليل وين عليهم يلا